Hey, Emma, are you ready for today's English lesson? We've got a really practical one lined up.
Yes, Daniel, I am so excited. I'm always eager to learn something new. What will we be focusing on today?
That's the spirit. Today's topic is all about daily routines and, more specifically, how we talk about how often we do things. We'll be using special words called adverbs of frequency.
Oh, adverbs of frequency. I definitely hear them sometimes when I listen to native speakers, but I honestly get a bit confused about when to use which one and where to put them in a sentence.
Don't worry about it at all. That's a super common point of confusion for English learners. We're going to break it down simply today, making it really clear. We use words like always, usually, sometimes, and never to tell people just how often an action happens.
Okay, I am listening very carefully. I want to get this right.
Fantastic. Let's start with always. Imagine something you do every single day without fail. For example, I always wake up early. This means I wake up early 100% of the time, every single day. No exceptions.
Always means 100%. Like I always check my phone first thing in the morning. That's definitely 100% for me.
Perfect example, Emma. Very relatable too, I'd say. Exactly. Now, what about usually? How would you describe that one?
Usually means almost always, but not quite 100%, right? Like maybe 90% or so? There's a little bit of wiggle room.
You've got it. Spot on. Like, I usually drink coffee in the morning. Maybe 90% of the time I'll have coffee, but sometimes, very rarely, I might just have tea or water. It's my typical habit. Can you give me an usually sentence?
Okay, I usually walk to the market on Saturdays, but if it rains, I might take the bus. So, not always.
Excellent. That's a really good way to put it and shows you understand the nuance. So, we've got always and usually. What about sometimes? Where would you place that on our frequency scale?
Sometimes means like 50%? Not every day, not most days, just sometimes. It happens, but it's not a regular thing.
Perfect estimation. Around 50% or maybe even a little less sometimes. It's occasional. For example, I sometimes eat pizza for dinner. It's not often, but it definitely happens. What about you, Emma?
Okay, I sometimes watch movies on a weekday evening. Usually I watch them on weekends, but sometimes I need to relax during the week.
Excellent sentence. Your grammar's correct and it shows you're using it naturally. Now for the other end of the spectrum, never. What do you think never means?
Never means 0%. You don't do it at all. For example, I never go to bed late. Oh wait, I never go to bed late means I always go to bed early, right? Is it like the opposite of always?
Exactly right. Never is indeed the direct opposite of always, representing a complete absence of an action. 0% frequency. Can you give me another sentence using never?
I never eat spicy food. My stomach just can't handle it.
Perfect. You're picking this up incredibly fast. Now, there's a crucial rule about where to place these words in a sentence. Remember, these adverbs usually come before the main verb, but after to-be verbs.
Wait, before the main verb? Can you give examples of that again? That's the part that always trips me up a little.
Of course. Let's take brush. That's a main verb, so I always brush my teeth. Always is before brush, or she usually studies English. Usually comes before studies. See how it works?
Okay, I see that now. He often reads books. Often is before reads. Got it. But what about to-be verbs like is, are?
Good question. For to-be verbs, the adverb comes after, so you wouldn't say I always am happy. That sounds a bit off to a native speaker. You'd say I am always happy, or they are never late.
Oh, that's a small but very important rule I need to remember. So, she is usually tired, not she usually is tired.
Absolutely correct. You've got it down. That's often a tricky point, so well done. Now, are there any other adverbs of frequency you've heard that you're curious about?
Yes, I think I've heard often and rarely. Where do they fit in?
Often is great. It's very similar to frequently, and they both sit somewhere between usually and sometimes. So, maybe 70-80%. I often visit my family on weekends. It's not every weekend, but it happens a lot. And rarely is the opposite end, close to never. It means not often, maybe 10-20% of the time. I rarely eat dessert, for instance. It happens, but, well, rarely.
Okay, so often is more than sometimes, but less than usually. And rarely is more than never, but less than sometimes. This scale is really helping. I think I sometimes confuse rarely with never.
Exactly, Emma. It's a common confusion, but remember, Never means zero, absolutely none, while rarely means it happens, but very, very infrequently. There's also seldom, which is very similar to rarely, perhaps even a tiny bit less frequent, but they're often interchangeable.
Okay, that's good to know. So, I seldom see my old classmates would mean I see them, but it's very uncommon, like once a year maybe?
Perfect! That's a great example. You're really getting a handle on the degrees of frequency. Now, let's practice with some questions about your daily routine to solidify this.
Okay, I'm ready. Bring on the questions.
All right. What time do you usually wake up on a weekday, Emma?
I usually wake up at 7 a.m. I need my sleep, you know? And I like to start my day calmly.
That's a good plan. Do you always eat breakfast?
Yes, I always eat breakfast. It's the most important meal for me. I never skip it. If I do, I get really grumpy.
Excellent use of always and never there, and completely understandable. What do you usually do after breakfast?
After breakfast, I usually read a book for about 30 minutes. It helps me focus before starting work or anything else.
That's a fantastic habit, truly. Do you sometimes watch TV in the morning?
No, I never watch TV in the morning. I find it too distracting, honestly. I usually watch it in the evening after dinner.
Perfect! You're seamlessly integrating these words. Now, it's your turn. Ask me some questions about my routine. Try to use different adverbs.
Okay, I will try. Daniel, do you always go to the gym?
Good question. No, I don't always go to the gym. I sometimes go, about 3 or 4 times a week. So you could say I often go, but not always. How about you? Do you ever go to the gym?
I rarely go to the gym. I prefer to walk outside, so I rarely go, but I often walk.
See? That's perfect. You just use rarely and often perfectly in the same context to describe your habits. What do you usually cook for dinner?
I usually cook pasta or rice dishes. I sometimes cook soup, especially in winter. It's comforting, you know?
Absolutely, soup is wonderful. Now a tricky one. Do you never eat fast food?
That's a smart question. I sometimes eat fast food, maybe once a month if I'm really busy or with friends. So, I don't never eat it. It's not a 0% thing for me.
That's fantastic. You corrected yourself and explained the nuance perfectly. That shows real understanding. I don't never eat it or I never don't eat it is a double negative, which is why we'd usually say, I sometimes eat fast food or I rarely eat fast food. But your explanation was spot on. You understood the core idea.
Thank you, Daniel. I feel much more confident using these words now. The percentages really helped, and practicing with my own routine made it click.
That's genuinely great to hear, Emma. Confidence is so important when you're speaking English, or any language really. Just keep practicing these adverbs of frequency every day as you talk about your own life, or even as you listen to others. Notice how they use them.
Yes, I will definitely practice daily. Maybe I'll start keeping a small journal to write down things I always do, usually do, and so on. What will we learn next time?
That's a brilliant idea for practice. Next time, we're going to expand on this. We'll talk about hobbies and free time activities, still using these adverbs of frequency, but we'll also learn some new verbs and expressions related to leisure. It'll be a lot of fun.
Wow, I'm excited already. Hobbies are a great topic. Thank you so much for this lesson, Daniel. I feel like I've really progressed today.
You're absolutely welcome, Emma. It's my pleasure. Keep up the amazing work, and we'll chat again soon.